The movie starts with a clip of Richard Nixon giving his famous speech where he is saying, "I am not a crook." In this speech, he claimed he would be happy to have any investigation into his actions, standing firm that all his achievements were honestly earned. The story then moves to 1973, where a young Donald Trump is out at an upscale New York City restaurant with a stunning date. As he surveys the room, he points out various wealthy figures and says, "There is a skill to being a billionaire. It's a talent and you have to born with it," before noticing the infamous lawyer Roy Cohn, known for prosecuting the Rosenbergs. One of Cohn's men approaches Donald and invites him to join Cohn at his table. He goes there and admires Cohn's ruthless reputation. And when Cohn learns Donald is the son of real estate tycoon Fred Trump, he introduces him to his influential circle of friends and colleagues. During their conversation, Trump vents about the federal investigation targeting his father, Fred Trump, for allegedly discriminating against African American tenants in their properties. Cohn quickly steps in, offering his help to handle the situation. After that, we notice Trump having a tough time going door to door to collect rent for the apartment. Later on, he shares a meal with his father, Fred Trump Sr., his mother, Mary Ann, and his brother, Fred Jr. Fred is currently being looked into for supposedly treating black tenants unfairly by separating their housing. People also think Fred is a failure because of his problems with drugs and alcohol, but Trump still shows that he cares about his brother. Later on, Trump meets with Cohn at the same restaurant, and Cohn agrees to take on the case against Fred because Trump asked him to. He shares his 3 important rules for achieving success. The first rule is to attack, attack, and attack. He starts by intimidating the law firm that is going after Fred, speaking harshly to a secretary while waiting for her boss to return his call. The second rule is to never admit to any wrongdoing. When the boss finally calls, Cohn denies that he threatened the secretary and quickly hangs up before the conversation can go any further. The third rule is to never admit defeat. Cohn even gets hold of some photos of the main prosecutor with another man and threatens to reveal his homosexuality to get him disbarred. Later, Cohn calls Trump to inform him that the lawsuit has been dropped, even though there was a lot of evidence against Fred. One evening, while having dinner at his club, Trump sees a Czech model named Ivana Zelníková and her friends who are trying to get inside but aren't allowed in. Trump goes to help them, but at first, Ivana turns down Trump's help. But after he tells the bouncer that they are on Cohn's list, they are finally let in, and Trump pays for their dinner. Afterward, as Trump is leaving, he notices Ivana and her friends waiting for a taxi. He walks over and offers them a ride back to their place. The next night, Trump attends a fancy party hosted by Cohn to celebrate their recent win. While mingling with the numerous guests, he encounters the famous artist, Andy Warhol. As he explores the party, he unexpectedly walks in on a wild scene involving a gay orgy, and to his surprise, Cohn is part of it. Trump quickly closes the door, feeling a mix of shock and disbelief. Trump begins to strategize on how to enhance his public image and gain more recognition. His first move is to attempt to convert the Commodore Hotel into a Hyatt, which creates some friction between him and his father, Fred, because Trump didn't inform him about his business plans. After meeting with potential investors, Trump seeks assistance from Cohn to help eliminate property taxes on the Hyatt and secure a $160 million tax break for the project. Although Cohn is hesitant at first, he eventually takes Trump and Fred to court, where he manages to achieve their goals by using blackmail recordings of politicians, all while protests from advocates for the poor start to emerge. After winning, Trump begins to show interest in Ivana and even joins her on a trip to Aspen. As they spend time together, their feelings for each other grow stronger, and Trump eventually asks Ivana to marry him. However, after discussing it with his lawyer, Cohn, he is advised to have Ivana sign a prenuptial agreement. Ivana is furious at the idea, but Trump runs after her, insisting that he wants to marry her without any conditions. In the end, they decide to move forward with their wedding plans. As the 1980s rolled in, particularly during the Reagan administration, the marriage between Trump and Ivana began to show signs of trouble after they welcomed their first child, Donald Jr. Meanwhile, Ivana started her career as an interior designer. During this time, Trump received a visit from his brother Freddie, who was struggling with alcoholism and appeared to be in bad shape. Freddie sought help from Trump, but unfortunately he was turned away. Later, Trump participated in an interview where he expressed his belief that America needed to be stronger to prevent other countries from disrespecting it. When the interviewer asked him what he would do if he suddenly lost all his money, he made a joke about possibly running for president one day. Trump's desire for more wealth begins to increase, and he starts to look down on people from lower-income backgrounds and labor unions. At an event with his lawyer Cohn, he tries to control Trump's excessive lifestyle, but Trump ends up comparing Cohn to his father. Soon after, Trump gets a phone call that brings him the sad news of Freddie's passing. After attending the funeral, he finds himself crying in bed beside Ivana. The next day, Trump and Cohn attend a party at the Hyatt, now rebranded as Trump Tower. During the event, Cohn confides in Trump that his lover Russell is ill and needs a place to stay, and Trump agrees to help. However, he also confesses to Cohn that he has lost all attraction to Ivana and feels nothing for her, despite having pushed her to get breast implants. Later, when they are alone in their hotel room, Trump shares these feelings with Ivana. As she attempts to leave him, he violently forces himself on her. Trump is facing some difficulties with his upcoming hotel project because he hasn't made all his payments, and now he's being warned about possible legal trouble. Later on, he gets asked to give his approval for a slogan for the Reagan campaign, which is, "Let's make America great again." That same day, Cohn approaches Trump outside his building after discovering that Trump had thrown Russell out of the Hyatt. Trump justifies his actions by saying that other tenants were upset because Russell has AIDS. Furious about this betrayal, Cohn lashes out at Trump, hitting him and shouting insults. Later on, Trump begins to consider getting liposuction and surgeries to reduce his scalp size. He also finds out that Cohn is seriously ill with AIDS, but instead of being honest, he tells the public that Cohn has cancer and denies any rumors about being gay. Trump eventually reaches out to Cohn, who is not feeling well, in an attempt to make amends. He arranges for Cohn to fly to Florida to celebrate his birthday, where he surprises him with a pair of cufflinks that he insists are adorned with diamonds. However, when Cohn shows them to Ivana, she gently informs him that they are actually just inexpensive stones. During the celebration, Trump stands up to give a toast in honor of Cohn. After Cohn shares a short speech, a cake is presented, and he becomes emotional, ultimately being wheeled away in tears. Sadly, he passes away later on. At the same time, Trump undergoes his surgery. Once the procedures are complete, he returns to work and meets with a ghostwriter for his book, The Art of the Deal. During their session, he echoes Cohn's 3 rules for success. Trump then shifts the conversation to discuss his own achievements, reflects on the successes of others, and muses about his political aspirations while gazing at the iconic New York skyline. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.